That one
So
right there
many.
made me the greatest player of all time.
For
That's
so
what I
many
felt.
reasons.
I was super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when y'all everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years of everything in sports going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time. That one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Someone else decided for you. And what has that responsibility meant to you?
No, Ann already said he don't want it.
I know.
Yeah, Ann said he ain't trying to deal with that. And I mean, Channing Frye said it the other day too. Like, I mean, it's unfortunate, but like, I don't know when you. Why do you want to be the face of a league when all the people that that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis on everybody? I mean, that responsibility. It's just weird. It's weird energy from the people.
Man, listen. Close the door, send the kids to bed. Facts. How does LeBron get to throw a firebomb by declaring himself the GOAT, disrespecting, burning down the legends before him and their fan bases, then turn around and cry bitch like a spoiled child when those same legends and fan bases throw fireballs back? How on God's green earth is it the fault of the people and the media that you couldn't live up to the standards of those before you, and now you get to point the finger at the very people who helped you and your family live the lavish, beautiful lifestyle you get to enjoy? Nah, buddy, F you and anyone who supports this way of thinking. I'm sorry. I must admit though, it's almost genius, right? This plan that they've devised, Clutch Sports and LeBron and this whole media mafia, right? The diversion to stray away from the truth. But do you really believe that us the people are that stupid? Y'all want to use the argument of we shouldn't use comparisons? Are you crazy? That's the very faggot. That's the very fabric of sports or comparisons. In the spirit of competition, fam. Jordan was compared to Dr. J, Magic, and Bird. Kobe was compared to Jordan. Shaq was compared to Wilt. Mahomes is compared to Brady. Bruh, that's what makes sports great. It's measuring greatness against greatness to produce more greatness. What are we talking about here? But since these guys can't eclipse what the Greeks have accomplished, right? Then their attitude is screw it. You know what? Let's forget about it. Let's get rid of it altogether. We shouldn't be compared. What are you doing, fam? Are you trying to trick us? Use reverse psychology? It's diabolical. That's nasty work. You trying to deceive the people that love and honor this game for your own selfish, for your ego. And your own, to feed your ego. Listen, what's good, fellas, ladies? Pardon me. Thank you for tapping in with your boy. But today, I'm really angry. And I'm sad at the same time about the mindset of the players today regarding a game I grew up loving. And I'm still trying to love to this day. But that love is hard. And it's starting to turn into disgust and contempt. The exchange I witnessed on First Take with Stephen A. Smith, Brian Pillsbury Doughboy Windhorse, and Gilbert Arenas, it really helped me understand why football is taking over and basketball is going to shit. Yo, for real, this is not for shits and giggles. I'm really upset. And I need to talk to you guys and try to get some balance if possible. See where I may have fared off at. I read the comments and listen to you. It's like therapy for me. I get to listen to different opinions and process information from people of different ethnicities all over the world. And it helps me get a closer balance of what the truth is, if you could understand that. Even the trolls in the cycle, I appreciate them too, because I get to laugh my ass off. But the truth of the matter is that even in the jungle, you have the hyenas, the vultures, the crows that eat dead carcasses. It's nasty and disgusting, but you know what? You need them. It's part of the ecosystem. So that's what it is. All right, let's get that out the way. Let's talk about the king, right? And his statements and the points Gilbert Arenas was making on First Take. Stephen A. Smith, he made some excellent points, but I read the comments and people were acting like Stephen A. Smith proved LeBron's point. I don't know how the hell y'all got to that conclusion. Right, that's people for you, right? Windhorse, what was he there for? The tap dance? You're both right. No, they're not. One is right and the other is wrong. All right? It's none of this bisexual, bipartisan, bi nothing. It's one side of the fence or the other. Right? You want to say that to try to manipulate what's really happening. Knock it off. Gilbert was trying to make some points. But what his points turned out to be were complete contradictions all over the place. And I'm going to show you. And I need you to be the judge and show me where I'm wrong, fam. Because in this argument, Gil made about 8 or 9 points and I wrote them down and I went through it with a fine-tooth comb. And I want to address them all because Stephen A. Smith, he didn't really hammer home and destroy all the horseshit Gil was throwing. I'm sorry. Spewing. His first point, the introduction of superstars in the past versus now. Gil said, I'm from the era where when you introduce a superstar or stars of the league, it was all positive. When you think about Magic, the Jordan, the Hakeem, the Drexler, the Shaquille O'Neal, you push their greatness. You didn't talk about the negative parts of their game to tell them why they're not number one. Gil, what are you talking about, fam? What are you talking about? They all came with some type of baggage or imperfection, right? Early in his career, Jordan was a ball hog. He could score, but he couldn't do anything else. He didn't know how to pass. He couldn't go left. Whatever y'all want to make up. He endured that. Then later, they said he was responsible or had something to do with his father's death because of gambling, right? You forgot that? Drexler said he wasn't a winner. Shaq couldn't shoot free throws. Kobe was a wannabe Jordan, and he had to deal with his Colorado situation. Magic caught the virus. All this shit that happened. And I distinctly remember on your channel, you said that the 80s players were nothing but cokeheads and alcoholics and all this other stuff. Didn't you say that? Jordan's teammates and his competition that he played against. You tried to diminish his greatness. By that, didn't that come out your mouth? But now you don't remember the negative things that were said about those guys, right? Yeah, you have memory lapse. Salah. Even with all these negative things that all of these legends had to deal with, how are they celebrated today, fam? And all-time greats. And I don't know what you're talking about, this number one stuff. There wasn't a reason to tell them why they weren't number one, dummy. It was clear as day. Jordan was at the top and everyone else were mere mortals. He was the gold standard, right? And everybody in the world knew Jordan was the one. Period. End of story. Excluding Wilt. I can't leave Big Wilt out of it because Wilt was the one. And we still got to debate that, but somehow they keep leaving them out the conversation. Unfair. Carry on. Next, what did he do? He went on about LeBron's criticism being ranked number 2. Think about that. LeBron's criticism of being ranked number 2. Who the hell ranked him number 2? How the hell did he jump over Kobe? How did he just get the number 2? Please explain that, because he's been in the league for 1,000 years. What are we talking about? What happened to Karl Malone? Gil said, you're telling him he's number 2 because of these flaws. You don't need to. Stephen A. said, no, I'm telling him he's number 2 because he ain't Jordan. Gil says, but he's LeBron James, so treat him like he's LeBron James. Huh? What does that mean, Gil? Now LeBron is the victim? He's the victim? Since high school, the NBA and the media have been slobbering over this dude. He was the #1 pick by his home state. When you have the chosen one inscribed on your body, and then they put a king in front of your name, before you do a damn thing, what kind of treatment is that? The problem is, everybody went off the potential. The problem is, it went to his head and everybody else's. I drank the Kool-Aid too at one point. I gotta keep it a buck. Now, let me ask you something, right? All you intelligent people. Raise your hand if any of you know who the King James is. Do you know? The reference that they're using, do you know who the King James is? Right? Most of you just know he has something to do with the Bible, but I have no idea. But did you also know that he was allegedly having sausage fights with his male servants? Nah, y'all didn't know that. Because most people just run with what sounds hot. Just like what Gil is spitting on First Take. Right? I would never have let the media call me King James. Out of here. Right? Before I know who he was and what he represented and what he was about. Crazy. But now, right? LeBron made that decision because that king sounded real good. He made the decision, right? He made the decision to run from the smoke in Cleveland because he couldn't get to the finish line and ran to Miami to ride D-Wade. D-Wade is the one who showed him and said, yo, let me give you the keys. He couldn't do it on his own. He made the decision to go on this show and call himself the GOAT, right? We didn't do that. So how does he get to play victim when they've been kissing his ass since before he got on the NBA court? But now he's a grandpa still chasing that same ghost. And somehow it's our fault that he failed. That's horseshit. What are y'all talking about? Next point. Judging the players by contradictory standards. Gil said, you can't be the juror and the judge. You can't make the rules of Michael Jordan's 6 rings because when Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan, he didn't have 6 rings yet, right? That's what he finished with. But when he was idolized, he only had 1 or 2. What's happening is you're looking at the resume of the guys that you put there, and you're saying, okay, you need 6 rings, right? You got to get the 6 rings. Okay, I got to get 6 rings. Now I need to make a decision to go to Miami and get these rings because I can't get it here. So now they're sacrificing individual awards to get these rings. Then they say, well, you don't have to have you don't have the individual awards. You can't get the scoring titles. Jordan has 10. He has 10 scoring titles. You can't do that. So LeBron gets penalized because he doesn't have these accolades. Then what ends up happening is if you have a player that's saying, okay, let me get these scoring titles, you're like, oh, you're selfish. Yeah, you're selfish. Yeah, that's just pointless stats, meaningless stats. Oh my God. What kind of bomber clot bull crap you trying to talk, boy? First of all, let's talk about the rings, fam. Newsflash for you, Gil. Jimmy High Roller, that guy, one of the biggest guys on YouTube in this basketball sports niche. He already proved Jordan's 1988 season before he won a ring. What that best season Jordan had was by far the best season a player has had, excluding Wilt. Like I said, which is unfair to him. But compared to the best of the best, Jordan exceeds everyone else by a galaxy. And this is what the people saw every night, man. We saw that, like, you can't even imagine what it was like to see that season, to see it day in and night out. Damn near 80 plus games a season, not including the playoffs where he turned it up in the playoffs. Dude showed up every night. He wasn't load managing. He was doing that for years. It's the standard that was set. When Jordan was, and these rings, fam, when Jordan was getting the snot beat out of him by the Pistons, we was calling him the GOAT while he was losing. Get that through your head. It's had nothing to do with rings. Yeah, sure, they were saying, well, he can't win no rings. But about that, we was like, yo, what we're looking at? Nah, this is crazy. And it absolutely was. But Jordan, being Jordan, he didn't want to settle for scoring titles and individual awards. He wanted rings. It just so happened, fam, he was so great. He was able to achieve individual accolades and rings in a way that you dudes cannot fathom. You not capable of. Yes, mofo, 10 scoring titles, 6 rings, and 9 first team all defensive selections with a defensive player of the year as the cherry on top. Oh, man, is it his fault? Is it Jordan's fault? He was so quick to do both. What are you talking about? You basically just said, you know what? LeBron can't do that. But yet, LeBron calls himself the GOAT. Depend to who? Who you comparing that to? Who gets to do that? I guess we just supposed to agree and carry on, right? Bro, that's delusion at its finest. Facts. You start a fight. You get in a fight. Midway through the fight, you realize that, yo, I can't win. I'm not built like that. So now you try to change the rules, win by default or some dumbass technicality, right? AKA statistics. Really? Stop it. Next point, the game created by media and fans. Right? Gil said, there's this game that's being played here that's being created. Then you're judging them off the creation that you created. That's the problem. You're putting these rules out, and then when they're trying to get to it, you use this and say, you got a little dirt on your game. You can't be the Messiah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, stop. Stop. If my older bro, he takes a test and he blows the doors off the test, he gets 100 plus extra credit. Well, you know what? As the younger brother coming up behind him, the future, right? I want to take the same damn test that get 100 on it, extra credit, plus. And everybody in the family is watching to see if I could pass on the level that my big brother did. My nice like that. But I take the test, I pass it, but I don't get 100 plus. Whose fault is that? My brother's? No. So how am I better? I passed the test, but I didn't do it the way he did it. He smoked it. Man, listen, what do you even talk? You can't be the Messiah. You can't call yourself the GOAT. You can't do these things, but you're doing it. How? And then on top of that, what if they made that test easier to pass? Because that's exactly what happened. Your commissioner, Adam Silver, commissioner of the NBA, told you out of his own damn mouth, we changed the rules to be more advantageous for the orphans. None of y'all talk about that. We leave that out. But yet, these guys today, modern era, they so skilled, but they're having problems getting to these levels that was harder. And you under easier conditions? Bro, you gotta miss me again. Like, miss me. Where am I wrong? Prove it. Then Gil gets on social media and nostalgia's role. He said, when you think about the Magic, the Jordan, the Hakeem, the Drexler, the Shaquille O'Neal, you push their greatness. You didn't talk about the negative parts of their game. Rinse and repeat. Then we just talk about that. I gave you a whole collage of negative shit those guys had to go through. Social media is another type of animal, I'll admit that. But adapt and conquer. Don't cry like some little whiny bitch. Again, Gilbert, if these dudes, if they don't want to be compared, don't call yourself the GOAT of anything, of a goddamn thing. Don't call yourself the best. What are you comparing it to? What are you measuring it against? You making it up on your own as you go? Miss me, man. Look, yeah, like I said, just sound like a bunch of little whiny little whores. Like, they told Mike he couldn't win as a 6'6" shooting guard and a perimeter player, as a high flyer. What did he do? All he did was run off 2 3-peats. Period. They told Steph he couldn't win shooting threes, blah, 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 blah. He has 4 rings. These dudes prove the naysayers wrong. What's the problem here? Stop bitching and making excuses. Get it done. But you can't. You're not built like that. Don't be mad. Right? But here's where I wanted to kick the TV. The comparison to Michael Jordan's legacy. What did Gil say? The worst thing to be called is the next Michael Jordan. It's a career ruiner, okay? A losing battle. Michael Jordan's legacy is considered perfect compared to everyone else. I have no chance. I have no chance of being perfect. I missed one shot. Huh? If the people, Gil, not you, not the players, not the media, the fans, the people place Jordan as the ball, then the people have spoken. So just because the bar is way up in the heavens, do you stop trying to fly? Do you give up? You know what? It just dawned on me. It makes sense why you didn't go far in your career, fam. Now it makes complete sense. The highlight of your life is dropping 60 on Kobe. Great. Give him a standing ovation. What if Jordan had that attitude? Right? Magic has 5 rings. Kareem has 6 rings. Bird has 3 rings. Dr. J got a couple of rings. Bill Russell, for Christ's sakes, has 11. What if Jordan said, nah, you know what? Those heights are too far. I can't get there. Will we have ever bear witness and seen what we saw? Will we have ever experienced Air Jordan? What if Kobe felt that same way that you talking about, fam? Will we have seen his full greatness on display giving dudes 81? Ask yourself a question. Why is United States basketball struggling? Huh? Is it really the rest of the world has caught up? Or is it that guys are fat? They getting these $200 million contracts and they just don't give a shit anymore. These dudes are settling while the rest of the world is hungry. What you think is going to happen? If the players bred in the United States were hungry, there's no way others could compete. Folk smash. Fam, you got Wembanyama out here saying players he's looking at, they not really working hard. Huh? It wasn't long ago where the European players were considered the soft ones. What's happening? Times have changed. Who's considered soft now? Huh? Ice cream. Who sits at the top of all of this? See, this is what happens when you lower the bar. These are the results that you get, and you can thank your king. Then Gil went on about the negativity surrounding modern stars. Here we go. He said, when you talk about LeBron James, they're going to say, well, he lost 6 finals. When you talk about Kevin Durant, they're going to say he went to the team that beat him in the playoffs. When you talk about Tatum, it's boring. I can't give you nothing bad about Michael Jordan, nothing bad about Magic, nothing bad about Bird. You didn't push that towards us. I don't know any. I can't tell you to this day what's wrong about those guys. Once again, horseshit. Rinse and repeat. It's like a recycling. You're saying the same thing, right? Gilbert, you get on, like I told you, we talked earlier about the negativity these guys face. Gilbert really gets on First Take deliberately trying to mislead the people. Once again, he like on his channel, he brings up negative shit about Jordan and Kobe religiously. So now he doesn't remember any negative things about these dudes. I mean, Jordan got accused of his pops being murdered because of gambling. That's so over the top, all right? Hey, if that was me, I would have told the league, the fans, the whole enchilada, all of y'all, phew, right? But Jordan didn't do that. You know what he did? He took a little break to grieve over his trauma that y'all all consider quitting, right? And he came back and he gave us 3 more chips. These guys, y'all are so disingenuous. To this day, they call Jordan a quitter because he took time off to deal with the loss of his father. But they totally disregard his mental health, right? They give poor George a pass, my mind is so messed up that I can't play right. But Jordan gets the shit because his father was murdered, right? Is it Kobe's fault? Right? No, I don't hear Jordan complaining. Is it Jordan's fault that Kevin Durant couldn't win without Steph in the crew? Is it Kobe's fault? Jason Tatum in the past, he's more consistent this year, but he hasn't been consistent throughout his career. He doesn't show up every night and he seems to disappear in big games. So that's what his reputation emulates. That's what it's giving off. And like I say, he's getting more consistent than in the past. Draymond Green called himself the GOAT defender. Compared to what? I mean, these are not stuff that's made up. It's the truth, is what we're watching. But you don't want to be compared. Some cotton candy. Oh my God. Listen. It's really crazy. It's stupid. If you want to take away, like, if you're taking away comparisons, what's the measuring stick? Where's it coming from? Well, some stupid ass metric that exists in your mind? Is there anyone in mainstream media who isn't afraid to tell the truth? Anyone who isn't a milk drinker to the king? Anyone other than Stephen A. Smith, Rob Parker, Whitlock, a few others? Shannon Fry is on his knees for his king. Richard Snowball Jefferson, the other day I heard him calling a game and he's crying, we need to celebrate these players more. You want us to celebrate mediocrity? Really? Eat a sausage, mofo. Facts. LeBron has done incredible things for the game, but he's done things that hurt the game as well. Gotta be honest. The proof is in the viewership, right? And if you want to be the face of the league, you have to take the good with the bad. That's what your predecessors did. Okay? That's what Jordan did. That's what Kobe did. Anthony Edwards, I'm sorry to say, and it's disappointing, but he not built like that. He just wants to spoil you. He don't want to deal with what it really is. Oh, they're double teaming me every night. So I don't know what to do. What? Bro, it's disappointing. But this is what the king has promoted. Cop-outs and excuses for failure. And now it's our fault. It's the people's fault. It's Charles Barkley's fault. It's Jordan's fault. It's Kobe's fault. Can you please take off your panties and put on some boxers, fam? And man the fuck up. Please. At the end of the day, you know what? This debate isn't just about LeBron or Michael Jordan, y'all. It's about the future of the NBA. Do we want a league where players run for greatness, or do we want a league where the best rise to the challenge no matter how tough it gets? Where's that guy at? Isn't afraid of the challenge. Maybe he hasn't been born yet. Feel me? Like, but there is a guy, trust me, right, that's going to see this stuff. And he's going to take on the challenge. He's going to say, you know what? I'm going to get 8 championships and I'm going to be undefeated and I'm going to average 30. And he's going to aspire to do these great things and he's going to do it. Facts. Fam, listen, jump in the comments, turn it all the way up. And I apologize if my delivery was a little abrasive, but this is In Your Face Hoops, man. And we pull up in your face like Steph and give you that night. All right, we don't sugarcoat and cap because it sounds good. On your way out, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like, subscribe if you want to be the first to get this smoke. Listen, good or bad, I love you and thank you all. Till the next video, be safe and God bless.